Hi, this is Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, and you are watching Loudwire.
Holy Wars was inspired by a riot in 1988 during a show in Ireland where Catholics and Protestants began fighting each other in the crowd, and because of this, Megadeth completed the rest of the Ireland shows in a bulletproof bus.
Not true.
No, okay.
Parts of it are true.
Okay.
What happened was, we were up in Antrim, and I went outside to go meet the fans, and this little redheaded kid goes, "Fuck you, Dave Mustaine." And I was like,
What?
that's so metal, you know. I didn't like it, but I was like, dude, little fucker, you know. And so I go back inside the venue, and this guy says that they busted somebody in the venue selling T-shirts inside the concert.
Wow, actually
right?
in the
Talk
show.
about balls, right?
Yeah.
So imagine a guy comes into the concert tonight and he's out there, you know, selling
starts
bootleg
walking around
T-shirts.
with shirts on.
Right, right. So I was a little bit confused about that. And I said, "What the hell is that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's for the cause, man." And I was like, well, "So what's the cause?" Well, the cause is supposed to be about prejudice, religion. The Catholics think they're better than the Protestants, and the Protestants think they're better than the Catholics. And mind you, I mentioned earlier, I don't really know a lot about religion. So I thought, well, one religion thing is better than another religion is prejudice, which is not cool. And if the cause is about having equality between the different religions, then great.
Yeah.
So had a Guinness beer, and the guy says, "Make a smiley face, and you'll have a drinking partner." So I did that a couple times. We're on stage. Some kid throws a coin up on stage. Those English pounds are pretty thick. Hit me, and I was like, "You little shit." Took my guitar off because it whacked my guitar too, and
Oh, that's not cool.
came back out. And by then, you know, I'd had several smiley faces, and I just heard Paul McCartney do this. I had heard he had done this after I did it. I didn't do this because I heard he did it. But I said, "Give Ireland back to the Irish."
Okay, yeah.
Anarchy in Antrim,
Okay.
right? I said, "This one's for the cause, anarchy in Antrim." Again,
So the
thinking,
cause...
not knowing that was the IRA. And it was totally innocent, man. I wouldn't do something like that. I would never dedicate any of my songs unbeknownst to myself about something that is such a mercurial topic, right? So I say that, audience goes, "Whoa!" They've got bomb dogs in there. And I wake up the next morning, we're in Dublin, and David Ellison and I are eating breakfast, and he won't talk to me, and I'm like, what gives, you know? Because, I mean, on this tour, I'd already peed in a suitcase once and stuff like this, and that was a tragic accident. I couldn't find the light switch in the dark, and I was full. But, so I just thought he was mad again, you know? I was expecting him to say, you peed in my suitcase again or something terrible. And he goes, "You don't remember what happened last night?" I was like, "No, I don't." He goes, "We were escorted out of North Ireland back to Dublin in a bulletproof bus because of what you said."
Oh.
So that's the real story.
So you didn't complete the tour in a bulletproof bus? You just were kind of escorted out?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we were delivered down to Dublin, and then everything went on as normal. The next day, we arrived in Nottingham in England, and that is actually where Nick Menza had gotten Chuck Beeler's gig, because Chuck was with us at the time, and Nick was drum teching, and Chuck didn't show up for sound check, and Nick was there, and I started working on Holy Wars that day.
Damn.
And so the day after that incident happened, we get this great song. Now, I wish there would have been a different inspiration for it, but hey, it is what it is.
So that incident did inspire Holy Wars, though?
That's the pure, that's the inspiration for the song, 100%, unadulterated.
There was a bunch of contradictions on this subject. It said, here's one thing that it said. It said that you fired Chris Poland and Gar Samuelson after they pawned band equipment for drug money. That's true. Okay, other posts contradicted that, saying that only one of them did, other ones were,
They both did. They both did. And Chris would tell you that, and David Ellison would tell you that, Gar would tell you that, Gar's brother would tell you that, Gar's ex-girlfriend would tell you that, Chris Poland's girlfriend would tell you that, Chris's manager would tell you that, any of our managers would have told you that. And, it's what the nature of the disease is,
Sure.
whenever we had to go on tour, part of the beginning of the tour started up with us traveling around town to all the pawn shops to collect Gar cymbals. You know.
Okay.
So, and that happened several times, and there's only so much you can take of that. You know. I mean, go hawk your own stuff. Don't take my stuff.
Okay. It said in 2002, you developed radial neuropathy after falling asleep with your left arm over the back of a chair. And this left you unable to grasp or even make a fist with your left hand. It took you 4 months of therapy 5 days a week to teach your left hand how to play guitar again. That's true.
Most of that's true. It was 17 months before I played guitar again.
17 months, geez.
Yeah.
It also said during your recovery that you received electroshock therapy.
Well, it's not like, you know, the Shutter Island or some shit like that, you know,
Yeah.
dude, come on. It's a
I had like Cuckoo's Nest pictures going on.
No. It's called a TENS machine. It's a transcutaneous electronic nerve stimulation device where they put this, the acronym is TENS.
Okay.
So transcutaneous, your skin, electronic nerve stimulator. So it's kind of like, you know, sometimes if someone hits this funny bone in there, how that makes that nerve jump up like that. So what it does is it makes the muscle contract. And I had where there was atrophy in here because the hand was lifting up. Do me a favor, squeeze right here on that side. Now do it on the other side and see the difference in the thickness there.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's because the hand, the brain stopped talking to the muscle and the muscle withered, no matter how bad I wanted it to work. And that's one of those things that they do with the beauty and advancement of nerve damage rehabilitation is they use this electric impulse to, you know, so I'm not sitting there with the wallet in my mouth, you know. I was actually probably smoking a cigarette at the time and watching the news or something dumb, so.
Okay, good. I was very curious about that. All right, last one for you. The Dystopia album. It said that the album was influenced by a certain urgency following the death of Slayer guitarist Jeff Hanneman because it gave you a new sense of your own mortality. That's true?
No.
No?
No. The parts of that are true, you know. When Jeff died, it was sad for me, sad for us all. I'd like to say I was closer with Jeff, but I wasn't. I'm not one of those guys that'll say like, oh, we're friends, and let's not be. No. You know, we were friendly towards one another, but that was the extent of it. And when he died, you know, I did look at my own mortality. You know, you see these things where, you know, people are just, they're not taking care of themselves, and you know, it's tragic. I on the inside, you know, there's days I wake up, I feel 100. There's other days I wake up and I'm ready to roar. But, you know, that's the physical part. The spiritual part, you know, the mentality inside of me, like, I'm probably happier right now to be able to sit here in New York talking about my career and just knowing that there's going to be music in a couple hours than I've ever been in my life with any of the things that came along with it, the money, the drugs, the houses, all that kind of stuff. Just to know that in a couple hours we're going to be having fun and playing Dystopia for these people. Yeah. Watching what's happened with Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica, Anthrax, all four of us, we've all had hardship, tragedy, death. I don't know anybody that's died in Anthrax, but I do know that there's been a lot of breakups and stuff like that, a lot of lineup changes. Sure. So the strong survive, you know, and I think that's reflected in this record. And I like being able to give our fans hope too when they come up during the meet and greets and they'll say stuff like, you know, you helped me through some hard times. You know, part of me is going like, you're a fraud, Dave. You know, how could you possibly have helped this guy do anything? You can't help yourself. Stuff like that, you know, the little voice that's going like, yeah, you fucking you know. But, you know, there's other times that I see that and I genuinely see people really, you know, have done something with their life, you know, and it's a great feeling, and I just I'm happy to, like I said, just be here.
Awesome. I want to thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good band, too.
Very good band. Listen to them. Listen to these guys, too. Yeah. Megadeth, Dystopia. It's out now if you haven't listened to it already. Dave Mustaine, everybody.
Thanks, dude.